Hey guys, this is your sports update for late July. Wednesday was the first day of the NBA restart where players participated in scrimmage games, which lasted throughout all last week. For the 22 teams in the NBA bubble, scrimmage games are merely equal to preseason games. And as time goes along, the switch is flipped and the stakes are raised, where seeded games will ensue, then the playoffs. But for now, teams that have played are regaining rhythm and pace. This is mainly for the players to gel with each other when it's game time and off the court. For many teams, health is a big issue that has rendered their performance, and with many players being replaced, chemistry is a big factor and can take some time to get adjusted while facing various opponents. We have a lot to look forward to once seeded games do proceed, for this is what the games now are preparing them for in the future. We also have a few significant returns to the NBA that should prove to be positive for these two teams. Number one, Russell Westbrook for the Houston Rockets, in which he did come back just in time to play against the Raptors in the first scrimmage game, in which the Rockets did play a hard-fought game, but Toronto had more weapons. But it's only a scrimmage game at this point. There's plenty of room for improvement, plenty of time to hone in on their skills before the next game against the Grizzlies. And as of today, Zion Williamson has returned back to the Orlando bubble after fleeing due to a family emergency. But he will not be able to play or participate in a game until possibly against the Utah Jazz on Thursday, starting a 4-day quarantine on Friday night. Meanwhile, the Pelicans have proved rhythmic and significantly cutting all the Nets' hopes after being depleted by missing players. It was a blowout, to say the least, but still improvement is needed for the New Orleans Pelicans. And there are some significant losses that should be mentioned in the NBA bubble. Indiana Pacers forward Domantas Sabonis is leaving the Orlando bubble due to a left foot injury. There is not a timetable as to when he will return to Orlando and join the team again. And with breaking news in the NBA, the New York Knicks and Tom Thibodeau are finalizing a 5-year deal to make him the head coach for the franchise. And with a side note, the WNBA is starting their 2020 season today, and several players around the NBA have shown their support within the NBA bubble by wearing orange hoodies with the WNBA logo on the front. Meanwhile, there's a lot to cover for the NFL, and them two players across the NFL has shown their support for the WNBA restart in those orange hoodies as well. Now here's other news that you may have missed within the NFL. The owner, Mark Davis of the Las Vegas Raiders, has been leaning towards having no fans while games are being played in the new stadium. He went on to say he would not attend games if the fans would not. Also with that, now developing the New York Jets and Giants after the governor's decision in New Jersey, NFL games in the MetLife Stadium will not have fans until COVID-19 circumstances do change. Also early on in the week, Antonio Brown, wide receiver, tweeted out that he was retiring again and is done playing football after retiring and unretiring in September of last year. But who knows at this point? We'll see what teams can handle his ways or behavior and if he can be unretiring again in the near future. Next, in Washington, their NFL team designated Terry Bateman to oversee their name change. Eventually, as we know, later on in the week, on Thursday, the Washington NFL franchise did announce their new name would be, drumroll please, the Washington Football Team. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's a little crazy, but for now it's only temporary, and hopefully in due time the name will change and seem to be more legit and hopefully better. Then the NFL also broke news during the week that there would be no preseason games at all played by all 32 teams in the NFL via a conference call with the NFL Players Association. Now that is big news and can be crucial to a team in the next upcoming season. Meanwhile, as training camps are undergoing, the NFL has proposed 80-man rosters instead of 90-man rosters. And with that, the NFL and the NFL Players Association has agreed that during the first 2 weeks of training camp, COVID tests will be conducted daily. Then testing will be reevaluated after that time. Next, former Seahawks pass rusher Michael Bennett has announced his retirement after playing for 11 seasons, going to 3 Pro Bowls, and getting 1 ring and a Super Bowl win. That right there is every player's dream, and a well-fulfilled football career in my book. Short and sweet. So one's on their way out and another's on their way in. The Dallas Cowboys have agreed with wide receiver CeeDee Lamb to a contract worth $14.01 million over 4 years, and the Jets have traded safety Jamal Adams and a 4th-round pick to the Seattle Seahawks for safety Bradley McDougald, plus a 1st-round pick and 1 3rd-round pick. That is it. That is your sports update as of late July. Be sure to catch another one next week for the end of July. There's going to be so much to unpack with the NBA, such as seeded games, uniforms, players' social justice causes, fan interaction, and of course, basketball. Bye.